Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we are going to be reorganizing my kitchen a little bit because I got rollouts installed in my kitchen cabinets. And this is something I've been talking about since we moved into this house last September. And finally we got them taken care of. If you follow me on Instagram, you know there's been a little bit of a saga and a story that goes along with why it took so long. We started in February trying to get them installed, and now it's the beginning of August. So it's clearly taken us a long time, but they are installed. I need to do some rearranging and figuring out how I want the kitchen to work now. We also got some units that go on either side of our fireplace, and now I have one side that I'm gonna use for Owen's toys, and the other side I think I wanna use for some extra kitchen stuff and maybe some barware, because that's what the unit's meant for. So we're gonna work through this together, figure it out, and do some reorganizing. So let's get going. That was the shot of all of the stuff I'd pulled out of my cabinets to get these rollouts installed. And I actually had them also install some peg holes so they were adjustable. I knew when I was doing this, I wanted to move my food storage containers to the rollouts because I had this organizer that I used to use in my apartment to store all of the lids, and none of the drawers in the middle were deep enough. So I wanted to make one of the rollouts deep enough to hold those lids the way I wanted them to be organized. Another organizer I'm using is this one for reusable silicone storage bags. It comes with a drying rack under it. This is an awesome way to organize if you use reusable silicone food storage bags like I do.
You say you don't want to get in trouble, that you're doing fine because you got me. I don't want to break your...
I did have a full dishwasher as well, so I'm going to kind of unload the dishwasher as I put things away. I figured it made more sense to unload and put them properly away into the rollouts as opposed to just unloading things and putting it on my kitchen table or in the drawers that they're not going to end up in anyway. So I am going to start playing around with the food storage containers here, as well as the lid organizer, and see how I want it to get organized. You'll see in this video, it's not like I just organize something once and it fits perfectly and then I close the drawer and we're done. There's a lot of organizing and reorganizing to figure everything out perfectly. So a lot of times I just kind of place things in a drawer or a cabinet the way that I think it's gonna go. It might not be 100% perfect, but I'm just starting to get the sense of it, and I'm gonna go back and refine these spaces and then make sure I have them right. Then it can also be refined even more once I start using it. It's important to remember that, and I want to show you the process of organizing, because I think a lot of times we think that you just buy an organizing tool or a bin and then it's just really intuitive how everything's going to fit together and how it's going to be functional for you, and that's typically not the case. Stuff like this does take a lot of arranging and rearranging, so hopefully it's helpful for you to see my process as I'm doing this rather than just showing you the final product.
There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like.
The next drawer down, I was thinking of doing kind of miscellaneous stuff. Again, I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to put here. I did have that freed up drawer in the middle that I was going to play around with a bit as well, so I had that. And then I knew the left side cabinet on the other side of the stovetop, that's where I want to put all of my pots and pans. So I got to use that bottom pullout in the middle drawer to fit everything else. That falls into the miscellaneous category, I guess. Right now, I've put my spiralizer that I use for zucchini noodles and things like that, as well as my Yo Nana's machine. This makes nice cream. Basically just bake ice cream out of bananas. There's a whole recipe book with it that makes a bunch of different healthy desserts and treats that are really delicious. And I also put my mandolin in there for now.
You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like.
Taking a quick break on figuring out how to organize that bottom drawer to clean out the middle drawer where I had all of my food storage containers, wiping it down with a multi-surface cleaner and a microfiber cloth. And then I first decided that I wanted to try putting my Pyrex baking dishes in there. They are really heavy. They're obviously glass, but I had a thought to put them in there. I was also maybe thinking mixing bowls would be really great to put in the drawer because I use them so often. But you'll see as I'm arranging and rearranging things, the Pyrex pans don't fit in there the way that I would want them to. So I did end up moving them to the bottom drawer there.
Girl. Your beauty make them bow down. I need that body right now. Yeah. The love will never die down. Together we can fly now. So, baby, don't you ever be.
I really like these Pyrex dishes. I've shared them before because they come with matching lids. So I can bake something and then directly stick it into the refrigerator with leftovers if I just pop one of those lids on. So that's really nice. But that bottom drawer was starting to get pretty full and I hadn't made space for those lids. And they were actually pretty tall and didn't fit very well on their sides. So you'll see I'm starting to play around with, well, maybe I do want to put the Pyrex dishes into the middle drawer. Maybe it would fit better there. Maybe I should put the lids under the baking dishes. That is kind of a pain too because every time you want to get one, you have to lift everything up. And the amount of times that I can reduce lifting one thing up to get to something else, I think the better. That is the goal in my kitchen here. I'm okay with the small Pyrex dishes stacked on top of the large ones, but the lids underneath is kind of a burden. So if I can avoid that, I'm going to try.
Make them bow down. I need that body right now. Yeah. Love will never die down.
So basically, I spent a lot of time organizing and reorganizing the space to what I thought was the way that I wanted it. You'll see I might make a little bit of a change later, and then using the middle drawer for mixing bowls and strainers, and that's it. And that drawer looks so clean to me. It makes me so happy that it's just 2 sets of mixing bowls and the lids and then the strainers, and that's it. I can easily access everything that I want to without moving a bunch of other things out of the way. Okay, now comes the tricky part, pots and pans, and I have so many. I know I have too many, but a lot of them are really nice and high quality. I cook all the time, and I don't really want to get rid of them if they're still in great shape. Some types of pots and pans, especially I think nonstick, they do tend to need to be replaced every now and then. So I'm going to hold on to everything. I know I could do a little bit of decluttering, but I'm going to hold on to all of them and then potentially declutter as they get a little too much wear and tear, and then I'll have more pots and pans and won't need to buy a new set. Because I have so much, I decided that it might be a good idea to try and put some of them up above the refrigerator and use that space. I hadn't really been using that space very efficiently in my mind. So ones that are very big and bulky, and then maybe ones that I potentially use less often, I can put up there. I can reach that shelf that's right above the fridge and freezer pretty easily. The one above that, I do need a step stool, but the one that's right above, I can access quite easily. So I can still use it for pots or pans that I do use on a somewhat regular basis. I was having the same thoughts and issues with pots and pans. I hate stacking them. That's not good for your pots and pans, and it will reduce the longevity of them. I did share a full review video of the Caraway pots and pans, and I really like them. I love how they come with their organizers and make it really simple. But in this space, the drawers weren't deep enough, and I could have dropped one of them down, but then it would make the next one so shallow that it didn't really work out for me. And I tried maybe thinking about stacking them on top of each other, which to me kind of defeats the purpose of the Caraway pots and pans because of how nice and easy it is to get them organized. So stay tuned for a little bit later in this video where I'm going to show you how I solve for that. But for now, you can see me just working through this and trying to problem solve how to get all of these pots and pans in here. Okay, that's good enough for now. I'm gonna step away, let my mind think about it, and then I saw there were a few other miscellaneous items on the kitchen countertop that I'd pulled out that I need to account for. That rolling pin I'm going to put in the bottom drawer. Up top of that shelf divider, I had some food storage containers, some aluminum foil ones that I use for taking food on the go or freezer meals. So I put my cupcake holder up there too because it kind of made sense to me, like on the go stuff or stuff that I take out of the house. I don't know. I didn't know where else to put it. It's long, it's bulky, so up high was a good spot in my mind. Now, the spiralizer and this little steamer that I have, I thought those would actually be good to put into the unit in a bin that's over by our fireplace in our living room because they're used less often. The other thing I knew I wanted to move over here was our wine glasses. This thing has a spot to put wine glasses, so I want to use it. Jim and I aren't big drinkers, so we use wine glasses truly less than once a month. Maybe when we have people over, and we also have some stemless ones that I'm going to keep in the kitchen. So if it's just the two of us, we can use those, or we can walk to our living room. It's an open concept. We can just walk right over there and easily grab a wine glass. I also had 2 baking dishes I was able to stack together and put in that shorter side of the unit, and then pulled out the bin there because I don't think there's anything else miscellaneous I'm going to put in there, but we will see. Now you'll see I had recruited Jim's help. Actually, I didn't have to recruit Jim's help. Jim was into helping me. He wants this kitchen to be functional for both of us as well. So the two of us are kind of tag teaming the rest of this video and finishing out the kitchen organizing project. He has a ton of great ideas. He's really practical when it comes to his organizing, and I think we balance each other out very well. A lot of times I get pulled into the aesthetics of organizing and don't necessarily think about being practical. He's all about functionality and helping me talk through, like, okay, am I going to be able to get to what I want to get to? If I put something up high, is it too heavy for me to get down? Is it too high for me to get it down? Which pots and pans do I use the most often? So as I'm moving stuff, he's talking to me and helping coach me on how this looks and how it's going to work functionally as I cook. I preach this often as well, even though I'm the one who does the majority of the cooking in the house. If you share your space with somebody else, I think it's really important to get them involved and to work as a team, whether it's you and your spouse, or if it's a space that your kids maybe have their toys or their clothing or something. Get them involved, have them invested in the process. It's also more likely that whoever shares your space with you, that they're more likely to put things away, keep things organized because they know the pain and the effort that you've gone through to get it organized. So they're going to want to maintain it because they know the time you've invested in making it the way that it is. So at Jim's other suggestion, he thought it would be a good idea to move the nice cream maker into that miscellaneous bin in the unit over by the fireplace in our living room. I thought that was a great idea. We don't use it a ton right now, maybe more so once Owen gets a little bit older. We might make more at-home ice cream, nice cream with it. We still use it, so I don't want to get rid of it, but it doesn't need to be in that bottom drawer. And again, this is so easy to access. It just makes more space in the bottom drawer. I can lay the mandolin flat, and I love the way that bottom drawer looks now. Everything's so easily accessible. Jim was still working on those units over there, and I thought it would be a good idea to put the caraway pots and pans up here because we can raise and lower those shelves really, really easily. So Jim's going to help me out with that to raise them up just a little bit so I can fit all of the pans there because there's one that's a little bit too tall. So he helped me raise that, and then I can use those organizers and I can easily grab them even without that little stool. Jim got to working on raising those shelves. We did decide to raise them on both sides just so it looks kind of symmetrical. I love having peg holes in my kitchen so I can raise and lower stuff, but I will say, first of all, it's tall up there, and second of all, it goes really far back. So I needed Jim's help and those long arms to get way back there to move those shelves. I could not do that on my own. If you are interested in this cookware set, I'm pretty sure that I still have a discount code that works. So I will try and put that in the description box below so you can get a discount. They have lots of different colors too. I like the gray one because I'm all into neutrals, but they have some really fun colors as well if that's more your thing. They come with lid organizers that you can hang on your cabinet doors. I thought it'd be easier just to put it in the side there so I could grab it, as opposed to those cabinet doors that are way high up there.
I heard you said you feel lonely. Nothing is right with that. Picking up pieces of something that doesn't matter.
And then I have a few more serving dishes up there. I just handed Jim 2 pots and pans that nest together pretty well, that are very large. So when I'm serving a huge dish, then I'll need those, but I don't use them regularly. Then put some of my larger Le Creuset in the bottom of the unit over there, and one small one that I will use more often that wasn't accessible before, now into the rollouts. And now I just want to show you some final after shots of how everything turned out. I'm really happy with it. I will say huge credit to Jim for helping me. I think he helped me think through this process a lot and made it so everything's really accessible and, like I said, functional. If you liked today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have lots of more organizing videos to come, spaces I haven't touched in this house yet, some spaces I need to keep honing in on my organizing and doing a little bit of rearranging. But until next time, I will see you guys later.